This is Augustana Sportscene, a weekly update on Viking athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Enjoy the action and excitement of NCAA Division II athletics at Augustana.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of Augustana Sportscene. I'm Bill Gross, Director of Athletics at Augustana College. On this week's show, we'll have interviews with head men's basketball coach Tom Billiter and head women's basketball coach Dave Krauth. We'll also have a two-part segment which was produced by Life Touch last year and ran on the Life to the Max television program. The first part of the feature is on Cody Schilling, and the second part is on the Augustana men's basketball program. We'll also take a look at what's ahead on the Augustana sports calendar for this week. It's going to be a fun show, so let's get things rolling. Here comes Augustana Sportscene for this week.
The Augustana Men's Basketball Report is brought to you by Sanford Health.
Joining me now is Augustana men's basketball coach Tom Billiter. Well, Tom, with the snow, we got backed up here for games on Monday and Tuesday night of this week. On Monday night, the Vikings took on the Huskies from St. Cloud State. It was an interesting ball game, Coach, and unfortunately we came up just a little short.
It was a weird game, Bill. And, we got down 16 in the first half. We got down 16 in the second half. We're down 16 with 7 minutes to go. And have a beautiful look at the buzzer to win the game. I tied it up at the end. One of those games that if you get the lead at the end, it's the first lead you've had. It just kind of, just a huge win, and we just didn't quite get it done. And, they're a good team. They've got 4 starters back from a team that finished in the top 4 in the nation last year. Now, they missed, Matt Schnecker was a great player, but it's not like those kids don't know how to play. And I thought they played particularly well last night.
They did. Yeah, and it's such a balanced league. They go down to Wayne State here. We're filming this after the Concordia game, and they lose. So I mean, it's up and down. Yeah. Anyway, then on Tuesday,
and then Concordia, we just beat Wayne last night, and then they come up here and lose to us.
Yeah.
It's an amazing league.
It is a lot of balance. And then on Tuesday night, the Vikings took on Concordia St. Paul. A very important game. When you lose the first one at home, you don't want to get swept. And I really thought, Coach, that your guys responded, came back, a great victory.
I thought my staff did a great job. Coach Trumbauer, Coach Authier, and Coach Wurtzma. None of us focused on last night. We just didn't. I brought a few kids in individually and showed some tape, but didn't focus on it at all. Got up at 10 o'clock this morning and watched film. Had half of them in at 11:30 because we're in J-term. The other half in at 12:30 because we're in J-term. Never even had a walkthrough as an entire team. And maybe that's a better way because they really had their attention. The smaller group really had their attention, and they all got involved in the walkthrough. So thought, we did a very good job of preparing for the game, and I thought our kids executed the game plan, and they played like a team with urgency.
Yeah, they really did, and a lot of contributions, but none more important than Cody Schilling. He kind of put it like we said.
Especially in the first half.
Right.
I mean, we don't have the lead in the first half. Cody had like 16 in the first half, and really just kind of took control, and that makes the other guys get a little confidence when you have someone out there playing that well. And then it was Cam had a funny game, for 7 for 20 or whatever, but he still had some huge buckets for us. And then Derek DeZeo with 11 rebounds and 10 points was just some of those offensive tips and the dunk he had and things were just huge for us. And those are how you win games. The other night they had 2 offensive rebounds. They kicked out to Putz. He scored 6 points. Yeah. He had 4 baskets. 2 were on offensive putbacks. They win by 2. Tonight we had some of those. We out-rebounded Concordia and we win. A huge statistic, especially offensive rebound.
Yeah, Derek was really a horse on the boards. And, your inside game, Coach, it's coming. You got young guys. Derek has some experience. But otherwise, Leif Nomeland is coming.
Hit a big jump hook,
Brennan
down
Olsen
the stretch.
Came in and helped. Yuri had a nice contribution.
And we don't have Eric Jorgensen and Nate Truex. I mean, my third leading returning scorer from last year's team isn't even playing. He isn't dressing. Nate just hasn't had it's been a hard year for Nate, between injuries and his concussions, and it's just been a hard year for him, and, he's hanging in there. We need him back, but, it gives some of our other guys a chance to step up, and boy, what valuable minutes Leif's getting.
Yeah, it was just a super win, a great team effort. Well, with the weather, the schedule got backed up here, so this weekend it's Saturday afternoon up at Bemidji State, and then Sunday afternoon at Minnesota Duluth. Be another couple tough ball games.
Both 2 and 4. Bemidji's playing great. Just killed Duluth this weekend or yesterday, at Duluth, and Duluth's always a hard place to play up there, and so it's supposed to be 150 below zero. It's supposed to be, we were up there last year for their world record.
All.
So and so we'll be up there again for another cold world record, and I think our kids just need to focus and just play the way we did it. With us, it's putting minutes together. That's our biggest thing. Can we continue to put minutes? And the bench came in and helped us tonight. If you can't do that without a good bench, and our bench continues to come. And Bill, I got to say something too. Monday and Tuesday games canceled. Weird week, and we have over 2,000 fans each night. that helps our team so much, and our student body is so funny and good, and for people to come out in this kind of weather on a Monday and Tuesday night with football bowl games and everything else, pretty remarkable. And I as a coach and our players as a team incredibly really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it's an awfully balanced league, Coach. We got a lot of games to go. We're back to 4-4 in the NSIC, so go get them this week.
Thanks, Bill.
The Augustana Women's Basketball Report with Coach Dave Krauth is next.
Augustana Sportscene is brought to you by Sanford Health, improving the human condition, by Schoenemann's, your trusted building center since 1888, and by Mid-Continent Communications, part of your community.
We call it the pioneer spirit, always pushing a little farther, always seeking something better. Today's pioneers still have it. We're creating something new. Something that will transform lives worldwide, that will redefine healthcare. We're doing it for you, with you. The pioneer spirit still lives, right here, the new Sanford Health.
Uberfan here, and this is my sportscaster audition. Today in local sports. Today in local sports. Today in local sports, and that's the news. I'm missing a page. Today in local sports. It's too loud. Okay. Uberfan for Midcoast Sportsnet. Every key matchup, every local rivalry, only on Mid-Continent, coming at you live. Baby. This is harder than it looks.
The Augustana Women's Basketball Report is brought to you by Mid-Continent Communications.
With me now is Augustana Women's Basketball Coach Dave Krauth. Well, Dave, early in the week here on Monday and Tuesday, the Vikings were at home for two big ball games that got backed up by the weather. And we started out on a Monday night with a very impressive 81-67 victory over St. Cloud State.
Yeah, I thought the second half, was maybe impressive. First half, both teams looked so rusty, like the long layoff had affected us both. We hadn't practiced that way, so I was a little bit surprised. But it wasn't a great looking game. But we kind of got it going the second half. Liz Helsper with 5 threes really made a difference.
Yeah, there was a lot of balance for the Vikings. Some good bench play. 5 players in double figures. Alex Feeney with 19 and 7. A good team effort.
Yeah, and in addition, I think Board had 9, so we almost had 6 in doubles. And so you spread your scoring out that well. And like you said, I think Alex had a nice solid game inside. Both games earlier in the week were teams where at times would play 4 guards, and where we have to try to take advantage a little bit of our inside game, but that isn't always a real strength of ours. But I thought we got enough both nights to make something happen, and got enough down the stretch, particularly from Alex, to get ourselves through that one.
Yeah, and then on Tuesday night, Concordia St. Paul in here, perennially strong team. Good athletes. It was a good ball game, Dave, but the Vikings again prevailing 84-75.
Yeah, and their quickness is just something, and if you don't see them, you can't, by description, you're not going to be able to convince somebody how fast and quick they are, which is a little intimidating for our kids because we're not, probably in the upper end in that department, but hung in there and really got it going, I think, offensively in the second half, and then just got enough stops where we were able to pull that one out.
Yeah, we hit some big shots, and again, some good bench play, Dave, and another great win. The Vikings now at 13-2, 6-2 in the NSIC. And this weekend, a little messed up again. The games got backed up because of the weather. So we play on Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon, and the games are on the road here, long ways, at Bemidji on Saturday and Minnesota Duluth on Sunday.
Yeah, and it'll be a little bit of a test. Our kids, we didn't have even a time to do a walkthrough with Concordia the second day. That was a tough one, but this will be a little bit of a quick turnaround too. We've got some kids who have tests and things in their first week of J-term or interim classes. Whether we can get ourselves focused on this one, and it'll be tough on the road. Bemidji doesn't have the great record, but at home they'll be tough, and then Duluth is strong as usual.
Well, Dave, you're having a super season, so keep her going this weekend.
Thanks, Bill.
You may have met one. The teachers who challenge. The ones who motivate. The ones who can fire imagination. The ones, in short, that you'll find at Augustana. Now maybe you don't believe that one college could have so many great professors. If so, you're in for an education. Augustana.
This new Jetta is awesome.
Yeah. Right now during Sign Then Drive, you can take home a Volkswagen for just your signature.
Really? That's great.
Yeah. Plus it includes scheduled carefree maintenance.
Huh.
Light's green. There you go. Oh, you need a pen. I had one here just a second ago. Who would take my pen?
It's amazing what you can do with a pen. Sign Then Drive is back. For a limited time, get any 2011 Volkswagen for practically just your signature.
It's a small town not far from the Iowa border. Ellsworth, like many in rural USA, relies on a strong farming community and an even stronger work ethic to keep it moving, to make it work. The focal point of communities like this is always the same. Not an industry, but the school. This is what it revolves around. Ellsworth has maintained an independence, no co-op with a neighboring district, as has been the case for many. That identity keeps a pride. Once in a couple generations, there is something more in places like this that creates a buzz. In this town, it's easy to identify. The boys' basketball program has become the pride of Ellsworth. That's what happens when you win games and state titles. It all started with one family, the Schillings. Cody is the middle son. He starting on the varsity in 8th grade with his brother's inspiration.
My older brother kind of started it all here, with my family. He was a great player here for 4 years. When he graduated from high school, I kind of just took over, where he left. And, I had 5 great years here, broke the scoring records, so had a great career here. Now my little brother is a sophomore here, and he's kind of, carrying on the Schilling name.
A name that is synonymous with winning, Cody took Ellsworth to state titles.
It was, coming from Ellsworth, I mean, it's a completely different atmosphere, but, we were ready for the big stage. I mean, we were all confident kids, coming from Ellsworth. We knew that the town had our back, and, when you got support like that, I mean, it's hard not to go out and, play your hardest, play your best just for this community.
Cody became a focal point. He set the state scoring record, since broken, but it was a period of time where the state took note. Schilling was part of the big show in the small town. His group of teammates changed Ellsworth and made the gymnasium come to life on Friday nights.
I mean, you come to this gym and 850 people is packed and people standing against the walls, and people go crazy here for basketball. It's what they live for.
This became his personal playground, where he and his teammates felt the most freedom, the most comfort. So did you guys used to come in here on the weekends or sneak in here when you couldn't play?
Exactly. My dad had a key to the gym. Yeah, it feels like I've been shooting in here forever.
And to understand his family, you have to journey to the home. The family farm that sits just a few miles outside of town. This driveway is where it all started. 3 Schilling boys and a basketball.
This is the mailman had a joke. He used to bring the mail about noon, and then he would always joke because we'd always be playing basketball in our farm boots, and he'd always say, "Do I gotta get farm boots so I can play basketball with you guys?" So that was always kind of a standing joke.
This is where they live and where their livelihood is, in farming.
And then we farm about 1,300 acres of land, so
they get a pretty good work ethic out here.
Oh yeah, well, we hope.
They have no choice.
They have no choice. A lot of days they don't have no choice.
But what it's really about is time away from the farm, spent doing what they love to do. How much fun has it been to raise 3 boys and have them all love basketball?
Good. That's kind of our family. That's what we love, and that's what we do. Vacationings, we're in the gym.
Cody's room is still intact. Almost a mini museum with all the accolades, accumulated through a career of hard work that led to highlights.
This is for my 1,000 point, my 2,000 point, and my 3,000 point, and then the state high school league, when I broke the scoring record, they gave me the game ball.
It is also obvious in this home that there's a sense of priorities that are more important than basketball and farming. It's led by faith, first and foremost.
I mean, this is home. This is a place, you can come back and, just get stuff off your mind and just relax. I mean, coming home to, mom's cooking and just hanging out with family. Family's huge to me. So, this is home. This is as real as it gets.
Yeah, people can't pick up on this, but you can smell you're at a pig farm.
Yeah, it's definitely the farm. It's not the city. You're a long way from the city if you're here.
Cody, what do the pigs mean to you?
You know, this is what we grew up with. You know, we grew up loading, sorting, you know, giving pig shots. So, you know, I haven't, like Dad said, you know, I haven't helped a lot the last couple of years since I've been at college. But, you know, when I come home, I mean, like I said, it's home. So, you know, grew up raising these things.
You're simply going to pop that fork. You're going to break out here. You're going to just simply catch.
His home is now about an hour away, though, in Sioux Falls at Augustana College. Cody Schilling attracted Division I offers in high school, but one persistent coach was determined to keep him close to home.
I would say 22 by myself, and my assistant coach was there more. Our rule allows us to be at every high school game a young man plays, where Division I has restrictions on that. We don't. We just can go to their first game to their last game. We didn't miss one of them. One time, and I can't remember where he was going, I got stuck getting there, and I was about halfway and I was stuck, and there were several cars were stuck, and I was like, Cody's never going to believe this. Can't believe I got stuck.
And one athletic director who used to be the Augustana basketball coach and, like Cody, grew up in a small town, knew what they had. Do you, when you see a Cody Schilling come, you know what he represents here and whatnot? Was it fun for you because he's kind of akin to you?
Yeah, it really is. You know, and over the years at Augie, we've had some small town kids come to Augustana like Cody, and it just brings back the memories of Hayfield, because, you know, that was what it was like there, and going off to college and playing and all of that, and growing up on a farm like Cody, in my case. So
at the end of the recruiting, though, they really had him all along.
You know, coming from a small school, I mean, it's way different. I mean, at Augie, you know, we get 3,000, 4,000 people at each one at our home games and stuff. So, I mean, it's just crazy. It's a bigger environment. It's just a different world.
That world is helping a program grow and win consistently, with Schilling doing what he does.
We played the University of Arizona early this year, and his shot's not going in. In fact, he's got a couple wide open looks, and he just isn't making them, whether he's rushing it, whatever. You know, Arizona, very athletic team. All he ended up doing was scoring 25 points, and he has a way to score. He's big and strong. He knows how to post up. He can put it on the floor, and he can finish. He can go right. He can go left. He can do a lot of things.
With his family within driving distance, it's been the right decision.
It's a lot of fun. You know, we're up there now too, and you know, Coach Billiter, he can get on them guys, and it's taught us a lot, because anytime somebody gets subbed up there, it's because of defense. In a small school, we always thought we had to outscore the other team.
Yeah, he made an immediate impact. A decorated freshman who proved early he had game.
Cody was a young man who we knew could come in here and do special things, and he has proven that to be true. And he was somebody that we just gave a lot of attention to, and if we got him, you know, thank the good Lord, and if we didn't get him, we can at least have known in our hearts that we did everything possible to try to have him come to Augustana College.
For Cody Schilling, the journey that has extended to college has been a blessing. One day he may teach and coach himself. In the meantime, there is always the family farm to come back to, at least for a while.
Yeah, you know, Dad always had us in the field, you know, working the ground and, you know, hauling loads with it during harvest with a couple wagons behind the tractors. So, you know, I spent my fair share of time in the tractors, but I came home a couple times, you know, during harvest this year, and Dad put me in for a couple hours. But, you know, you just get in there and you turn on some country music, and you just, I mean, you just zone out for a few hours.
Kind of relaxing, huh?
Yeah, can be kind of relaxing at times, yep.
We call it the pioneer spirit, always pushing a little farther, always seeking something better. Today's pioneers still have it. We're creating something new, something that will transform lives worldwide, that will redefine healthcare. We're doing it for you, with you. The pioneer spirit still lives, right here, the new Sanford Health.
At Schoenemann's, our staff's expertise goes far beyond hardware. In fact, we know just how important your home is to you and are committed to making every project a success. So, whether you're just adding some color to your life or adding on for your growing family, Schoenemann's can help. Sure, we know you can pick up nails just about anywhere, but when it's expert advice you need, you'll find it only at Schoenemann's.
You can always do it right with Schoenemann's.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a progressive city that borders Minnesota, tucked inside the boundaries is a unique campus, Augustana College. Enrollment 2,000. It is a private education in a primarily state school conference.
Being a small college allows us to really concentrate on students. Our faculty come here to teach. That's their main purpose. They do some research and they publish, but their main reason for being here is to be good teachers. And we do believe that we've got some awfully great professors who teach some awfully talented students.
It is a college that facilitates dreams, an option in the upper Midwest for the suburban, the urban, and the rural.
One of the great things about Augustana College is being located in Sioux Falls. Great place for 1,800 students to come and learn and be involved in the community and have a great collegiate experience.
It's also home to a college athletic program that is part of arguably the best Division II conference in the country.
We've got a conference which is unique to the fact it's young, yet they've had 2 national champions in men's basketball, several in women's athletics with Concordia's success in volleyball. Minnesota Duluth has won a football national championship. So a young conference that has had just great success.
The Vikings have been holding their own on the basketball court. They have worked their way to the top half of a talented league.
When Miller is setting the screen, we're pushing up.
And done it by recruiting a kid that has to qualify and want a first-rate education first.
And so actually I would say Augustana is a Division I or even a Division III philosophy academically, yet we play at a Division II level, which allows us to offer scholarships obviously, but also to play at a very unique level with what our school brings to the, for what we bring to the table.
That's the philosophy that extends to the community. It's also the framework for a special experience. You've been there a long time. What's Augustana mean to you?
Well, I played there, got my degree there, coached high school, came back, and now this is 31 years at Augustana. It's a great place. It's a family atmosphere, a lot of great people.
Game night on campus, and it is electric. Southwest State, Minnesota is in town. Another matchup that offers a test.
Yeah, they're going to press you. Handle it like you know it's coming and be excited to see it and make them pay for pressing. Everything you do tonight is aggressive if you haven't gotten the theme of the evening. Defensively, offensively, rebounding. You get out there, you change a guy's shot up, you're going to go and find them, you're going to lay some wood on them, you're going to knock them on their tail. Get some intensity going tonight. It's all about this right here.
It is what college basketball is supposed to be.
40 minutes, not a half. 40 minutes. 1, 2, 3.
Everyone at the school is really close. I mean, we have great fans there. The students really support us. I mean, you go support the other teams when they play. I mean, it's almost like a big family there.
This is basketball country, Sioux Falls.
We're a school of, give or take 2,000 students. We are in the top 10 in attendance every year, 22 straight years. And there's a lot of years I didn't want to go to the games my first couple of years here. That's how bad we were. We were awful. I would much rather have been anywhere than here. And those people came every game, and they stood by you. They were very loyal, very staunch supporters.
If they're waiting for you, screen your own man, cut away from the defender, make plays. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
With a coach who is what so many are at this level, filled with passion for a game mixed with a dose of salesmanship, and ever aware of the opportunity for promotion.
We have won about 70% of our games over the past 3.5 years. Those are the years I tend to remember a little bit better than the first. But luckily I had very good administration that had patience, and they saw the picture that I saw.
Hey, I don't act that way very often. I knew I was right. That's why I did that. I deserve that. Tom, I didn't see it. I can't help it. I know, but that's why I was like that, because it was an easy call.
It's now a tough ticket, and for good reason. This team can play. They have figured out what they do well, and they pound you on fundamental in everything they do. Commitment to detail defining the on-court effort.
Offense is fine. We're not cutting real hard. It's like they're kind of holding and being physical. Well, we got to be physical, slap their hands off, and just get them off of you. I mean, it's that simple.
On this night, they do just that. Keep coming, attacking with the discipline. The crowd has invested in the team in part because the return has been good. The small campus feeling means you probably know who it is you're supporting.
There's our kids have graduated and gone on to med school, grad school, law school.
Strong with the ball! Hard cut!
The buzz has been built through winning. And the salesmanship of a coach who had a vision.
Guys, you haven't noticed they're physical. They're trying to be aggressive on this end, all right?
That's what makes this college and these nights unique. It's Augie land, and it's a pretty good place to spend your time.
And in the meantime, we've built a really solid foundation where we've gone to 2 straight NCAA tournaments. And, you know, at this time, we're in the top 20 in the country and playing pretty good basketball. All right. I mean, we can enjoy. I wanted that one. That's a little bit of payback. That was good. That's a good job tonight. But that means nothing. Tomorrow's the big one. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Go get one, boys.
How do you hold a moment? Keep friends and family close. Witness the passage of time. Replay the glory days. Relive magical nights. Create memories to share. How do you capture a lifetime? One picture at a time. Life Touch. Photography for a lifetime. We call it the pioneer spirit. Always pushing a little farther. Always seeking something better. Today's pioneers still have it. We're creating something new. Something that will transform lives worldwide, that will redefine healthcare. We're doing it for you, with you. The pioneer spirit still lives, right here. The new Sanford Health.
The Augustana Sports Calendar is brought to you by Sanford Health.
Let's take a look at the Augustana Sports Calendar for this week. Saturday, January 8th, basketball teams are on the road at Bemidji State University. The women tip off at 2 o'clock, followed by the men at 4. And wrestling goes to some tough competition at the National Duels in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Sunday, January 9th, basketball on the road again at Minnesota Duluth. Same game times, 2 o'clock for the women, 4 o'clock for the men. Monday, January 10th, it's the Augustana Coaches Show on ESPN 99.1 at 5 o'clock. And next Wednesday and Thursday, January 12th and 13th, Augustana Sportscene will be back right here at this same time on this channel. And remember, for radio coverage of Augustana men's basketball, you can hear the Vikings on KIKN FM 100.5 and worldwide on the web at KIKN.com. And the Augie ladies can be heard on KXRB AM 1000 and worldwide on the web at KXRB.com. And remember, for complete information on Augustana athletics, go to our website, goaugie.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again next Wednesday or Thursday on this channel for another edition of Augustana Sportscene. Have a great week, everybody.
You've been watching Augustana Sportscene, a weekly update on NCAA Division II athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Learn more about Augustana College in Sioux Falls at augie.edu.